Okay, getting everything set up. Let's see if somebody pops in before I even get it up on Twitter. Oh, two watching. Someone's already in here. Live. What is up, everybody? Just trying to getting everything off the clipboard here. What an amazingly split red day out there today. S&P 500 ran up, got a new all-time high, and then turned red on the day. That's always fun and wonderful to see. Pretty much a lot of that could have just been people, jumping in, trying to day trading, making a quick buck. They figured there'd be a good run up. Wrestler, fun, I think, is just going to be just a continuing letdown of epic proportions until it finally does rip. I don't see anything really popping off with fun. PROG, on the other hand, hey Simon, welcome to the chat, man. PROG looks like it actually wants to do something here and there. To me, fun just seems like PROG's lazy cousin. So yeah, it looks like PROG is setting up an even lower zone. And nope. Oh, the high franc. They're spamming out the high franc. Yeah, just this day, it's a continuation of the low volume downward trend we've been seeing. And some stocks may pop in and run up a bit. The peach. Let's see. Trying to. Wondering if I've got Outdoor Smile on here. I'm not actually sure. Yeah, Clavero was right. In order to get monetization, it's 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watched content. Kind of sucks that just seems so far away right now. Why is the whole market... The whole market's red just because it's at a slower time of the year. Just like, we saw it during the week of and the week after Thanksgiving. Same thing, the week of Christmas, the week after Christmas. It's just a slow time of the year. If a whale stepped in with huge money, they could, seriously start driving the prices higher. Just because how low the volume is, any huge volume stepping in, any huge buying pressure will just shoot the stock through the moon. Yeah, when moon? It'll pick back up in January. It's we're just in a low volume time of the year. I know Clay was talking about the Qs. Yeah, same thing on the Qs. Check the Russell. Russell will probably be doing the same thing. Yeah, Russell's doing the same thing. They all ran up, hit new highs, and are pulling back during the day. Really hard pullback on Shib. That was Yeah, I expected a pullback, but that is that's a huge one right there. What were we up to? Almost up to 40. We're up to 4,000, and now we're pulling back. Not too bad. Only a 350 point pullback. Yeah, I thought about it because I know Grandpa Barney was talking about, he had mentioned that couldn't wait to get over and support the channel and super chat the channel and stuff like that. I think I might try and set something up like through PayPal. I don't know how to go all sneaky about it though. Don't like losing money. Yeah, I don't like losing money either. It always sucks on a down market, but there are good things going on, depending upon your definition of good. The whole Anakin Obi-Wan, from my point of view, the apes are evil. Well, you are lost. But if you look at AMC, everyone's favorite stock, we are still holding the upper edge here. And as you can see, we had that dip down, run up, dip down, run up, dip down. We might be in the process of seeing a little bit of a run up here. We'll pop over on the 1 minute chart. Oh, and as far as the update for Robinhood listing Shib, the update is they still haven't done anything with that yet. That was what I was hinting at the on Claybro stream. So yeah, AMC getting pushed down pretty good. It did have a decent run up early in the morning. That first 15 minutes had the good run up. We go back to, did we see? It was so first 15 minutes yesterday was a downward push and then a long run up afterwards. And we go to the day before. Downward push and then a run up. So we're seeing a trend of them liking early downward movement and then a run up. Well, today we have a little bit longer of a push down. We had that initial 15-minute spike upward, and it's just been getting pushed down the whole morning up until what's that? Probably about 20, 30 minutes ago. It started to catch a wind and started to run back up. This could continue on into through midday, and really start looking towards what's going to happen going into power hour. Now, one thing to always consider is it is possible that AMC is just how we sat right around. We were in that 38 to 41. I don't want to call it channel, but we're moving in that $3 range for quite a while. It is possible that for the short term period that we are in a little bit of a lower range right now, just waiting for the new year, waiting for people to step in. Definitely, I would look towards a time period that I would be looking forward to see more serious positive price action. Maybe when people start getting their returns back. That will be a huge influx of money. I know there are a lot of people out there that when they get their returns in, they like to take it and buy shares, they like to invest it when they get their returns back. So it is possible, usually I think the first or second week of February, if you do your returns right away when you get them. It depends how long it takes for you to get your 1099s from all your investment brokers. Oh, hey, Outdoor Smile, how's it going, man? Disagree at wrestler with a folded sausage. Yeah. But yeah, we could be in a little bit of a lower trend, but I think when people start getting their returns back, I think we'll see upward price movement again. So I want to kind of have a look at the calls here, just see if there's any change. The 30s have stepped up. This is a gain of over 4,000, I think, since yesterday. That we've had almost, since yesterday, 4,000 new contracts come in at the $30 mark, expiring for this Friday. So that's definitely good news. That's market definitely looking towards higher share prices. Take it out at Bird's. The 34-35s, though, 34 is surprising to see that's currently the boss as far as the calls go. So when we were looking at it before, it was looking like either, depending upon, how you view puts and everything, we were looking at either 29 or 30 being his max pain for this week. But if we look at it, 34 has definitely stepped up. It'd be great if we got, the buying pressure that would come in to help drive that price higher. That's definitely something we always want to see. Kind of having a look here at the premiums, just seeing what they're worth here. AMC broke downtrend now. When moon? We're always going to moon tomorrow. Tomorrow is the answer. You talk to any other YouTubers, and tomorrow's the moon. Now, there are two different scenarios that I was looking at for the moon, and one of them was an end-of-year close by the hedge funds in order to get the capital gains, to get the loss credit. The other one is we could be seeing, just based off tax scenarios, we could see that they close in January just so they know how far behind they are for the year. Because they know that there's a good chance that when they close this out, they're going to be pretty far behind. So it might be good for them to, to close their position early in the year. That way they know how much ground they have to make up. And that might be why, end of the year here, why they're fighting so bad to keep the share prices down, so that when they go to make their move to close in January, potentially close out, it could be that they're going to use that to, they're going to use a downward momentum they're already picking up to try one last push to try and get the share price down. Valhalla's calling me. Yeah, Valhalla's calling every day. Speaking of, let me get a drink here. When I die, I want to take my mug with me to Valhalla to drink mead out of, so I can prepare to go fight in Ragnarok. Yeah, it looks like the 25-26s, which is what I was looking at before, they are a little priced out right now. They dropped down to $16 a contract, so not really that into those for this week. 25-26s. Now next week, looking at 10 days out, the 24-25s aren't that bad at $24. That gives you that extra dollar buffer that I'm all about. I love having a good buffer in between the share prices and my strike prices. And looking at the trend, I was saying that the 25-26s looked fairly safe because we're starting to move up a bit there. The 25-26s looked safe because this is your 26 mark right here, and as you can see, we're halting or bouncing long before we get there. We got a 27, got a 26.82. So that 26 is holding up as a really good line, and that's kind of one of the indicator lines that I would look at for the bull puts, just to make a little bit extra cash. I want to drop down on the 1 minute though and see what's going on with the AMC. Yeah, Outdoor Smile, were you in here? Because I did speak on the whole monetization of the channel issue. Uh, that's why I'm hoping to get up to 1,000 subscribers. That'll definitely be a great day. I'm looking forward to monetization. Granted, no problem with doing the work for free. Helping the community out, but it'll be so nice when YouTube starts paying me for my channel. I missed that, but now I understand. Yeah, it's they have requirements just so people don't just don't crank out a ton of YouTube channels and everything. They want a channel to actually be established before then. I don't know as far as the super chats and everything. I'm assuming all monetization is treated the same. So I think that before all of that starts happening, I think I still have to hit those marks. Why? Don't forget us mods when your channel moons. Yeah, of course. Well, that's the good news. I've already got like most of the red wrenches already. Oh, that's why I'm on the 30 minute. I'm like, why does this look so weird? Just kind of playing with the chart. But yeah, really not too exciting of a day in the market. As I mentioned on the stream earlier, the I'm just getting raked over the coals on materials. But between gold, weed, uranium, and lithium, I am just none of the materials are doing good today. Let me see if there's any bright hope. AMC waking up a bit, still down 1.1%. My overall profile is or portfolio is about ready to turn green though. Looks like real estate and business are doing good today. Energy's actually doing pretty good. Yeah, the entire bottom of my portfolio, two fours. The bottom seven stocks in my portfolio all have almost the exact same downward trend on the day, and it looks like there's no upward pressure anywhere after the market opened. Some of the others are doing really good though. Anything in chat that I'm missing here? Give you financial advice. I've given financial advice many times on this channel. Every time I say that if you're going to enter into a position, especially an options position, know where your stop loss is and make sure you've got capital in place to exercise that stop loss. That is the best, especially if you're playing options. That is the best financial advice I can give you, is to know where your stop loss is, know what your maximum loss is, and put capital aside to exit the position. And that capital you put aside, do not touch. That is your safety right there. So yeah, that is financial advice for you. Also, don't gamble with more than you can afford to lose. That's good financial. That's good life advice. It can definitely be taken as financial advice, but that's good for life in general. Do you feel that storefront real estate is declining? If so, is that because of online delivery action? Uh, Not all storefront. I think certain areas of storefront and certain markets. By markets, I'm meaning certain uh, demographics of the area they're in can affect them. A lot has transferred. We see more and more stuff getting, becoming online. That's why one of the real estate positions, one of the businesses that I invest in, is actually there. It's a real estate business, but what they do is they own warehouses that e-commerce uses for storage. For online shopping. So all they own are warehouses, and all the companies, when they're looking for places to store their online warehouses, they just lease out warehouses, and that's all the company does. So pretty much their revenue just comes from collecting rent or collecting lease money. So yeah, I've definitely noticed an uptick in online purchasing just off that alone. That's actually, it's not a big position, but it's a pretty rock solid position in my portfolio. And anything you get, like one of the ones that I do have, in fact, let's take a look at it. I believe it's MPW, Medical Property Trust. Yeah. So all this company does, they own buildings, they own hospitals, and they lease the buildings out to hospitals that want to use that space. So as you can see, they have been, looking back, of course, we all know what happened right there. But if you look at them, a little bit of shaky ground as stuff was unknown and everything going on with hospitals. Yeah, I'm sure some hospitals had to negotiate as far as, hey, we're down on money right now. But as you can see, a little bit of pullback, and then since then it's been fairly stable. In the times we're in, for an individual company that is pretty linear in what they do, you can see this is fairly stable, and this is also a dividend paying stock. Nice, probably divide it up and sell smaller spaces. Yeah, that's always possible. Let me real quick. I don't want to misquote. And so they currently have a share price of $23. They pay a quarterly dividend out, and last quarter I received 28 cents per share on a $28 stock, or on a $23 stock. So that is really not a bad dividend to have. I've got other ones that are monthly and might yield more, but when you look at the share price, even if you just drew from 19 to 23, they've stayed in this nice little channel this whole time. When did they actually break below 19? You have to go all the way back to last year for when they were below $19 a share. So since for almost the entire year, they've been between $19 and $23 a share, and that's a pretty good and stable company that has they have good capital. Their debt ratio, their debt is not that high. It's a good business model. So yeah, this is just one of those things that you have to analyze the times we we're living in, and look at the market and see what's needed. Well, a company that leases out property to hospitals, they're going to be doing good through pretty much through most things. Utilities, energy, especially getting into energy before the winter time. Time out. Look for certain trends in the market, certain things that do better at different times of the year. Back to AMC. No, it looks like AMC's flattening out just a little bit. Any other interesting ones on here? So let's go ahead and play Monopoly right now. Check my railroads. Let's just check most of these on the 30-minute. Okay, railroads are coming back a little bit. Nice upward channel. Definitely good. Check electric company. That is nice. It kind of flattened out. So how's everyone else's day going? Let's see. AMC down 1.6%. Overall, I'm still under 1% down. That's with how much of my portfolios in AMC. It's nice to see that even when AMC's down, the rest of my portfolio picks up the slack. I'm probably not going to be happy seeing this one. Yeah. Honestly, with global water, I do not know what's going on. You would think a water company based in Arizona would be a pretty good investment. I almost wonder if Global Water, if their management staff came over from Sundial. That's always a distinct possibility. So, anyone have New Year's plans? I know I don't have much of anything. Don't have much of anything planned. Since I'm getting old, I might just go to bed early and wake up and be glad the year's finally over. Anything going on with GameStop? GameStop down on that down low also. GameStop dropped down to 130? Wow. If I was looking to get into GameStop, that would have been a real nice time. I don't actually own any GameStop. I went with AMC because I was looking to get into AMC for for revenue generating on options and getting the 100 shares. It was a lot easier to get 100 shares of AMC than GameStop. At some point I might get two different screens on here, just so so I can have the chat over on one side and have all the stock stuff on the other side. Might make it a little bit easier. I have to keep bouncing from tab to tab. Checking for any kind of stock updates. PROG for $1.99. That was a nice little dip there. Yeah, I'm just trying to see on PROG if there's a way I can change it up a bit. It would be nice to average down. Just trying to figure how far can I average down, and if there's an area of the market where I could pull money away from to increase my PROG position. So what is up, everyone? We still got everyone. Wrestler average 278. Yeah, it's like we're definitely in a zone. We're averaging down. If you got the capital standing by, definitely a good place to average down at. Unfortunately, you look at it, and this is only if you're playing 100 shares at a time, just to keep it a nice round number. You're still only looking at $21 for flipping on that. So still waiting on the long term run up. Is there any updated news on PROG as far as Granted, I don't think they'd be doing much this year as far as patents and mergers and stuff. Definitely looking forward to that. Hopefully in Q1 of next year. It'd be nice to see them make some major announcements that just cause the share price to skyrocket. Because if PROG skyrockets and I can definitely collect big capital on it, shift all that over into AMC, keep AMC running up. Doge having a pretty gnarly pullback also. Still wish I could get the cryptocurrency updates. Update these times to where they're actually local times where I'm at. Uniswap, BAT. I'm still up huge on BAT, even with it pulling back the way it is. I got it so good on BAT. Trying to I'm just sitting here playing around with the charts. It's like, oh, let's move this around, move that around. Zoom in on that. I think I actually, let me have a look here. Oh, so I don't know why mine looks so small. Yeah, I like it better on the single chart. Let's see, AMC on the 1 minute. I'm kind of interested in what AMC's volume is on the day. Yeah, only 25 million volume so far. 25 million halfway through the day, and just, you know, not seeing a lot of excitement. Just that end of year slump. Looking to break back. I would say break back. Looking to kind of slowly mosey on through that channel. Hey Danelle, how's it going? We're just kind of hanging out, looking at the sleepy day in the market today. Just not a whole lot of anything going on. Gonna actually have a look here. So everybody out on lunch break today at work, or just got some audio listeners in here, or audio peeps? There's just not much, even as far as technical analysis. There's just, it's a really, really blah day. It's a blah day in the market. Okay, those are 10. Wow, 10-day out calls are that boring right now. Yeah, so we got PROG right at $2, AMC hanging out right around $28. Spies pulled back. Let's get back over to the chart. Back over to the chart. There we go. PROG had their run up, or not PROG, but Spies had their run up. They're kind of neandering into the midday also. Let's see if there's any excitement going on in the market. Let me just try and I just kind of do a quick search right here, and And of course, anything we pull up here, it's not an endorsement of the stock. I'm just looking for something exciting to have a look at. Apparently, a lot of bioscience is up today. Apparently, Krispy Kreme donuts, of course, they're up pretty good on the day. That's looking for names that I might recognize, or at least sectors of the market that might be interesting. Here we go. Here's one. Let's see what's going on with this company. Just as a random have a look. Oh, they're having a nice day. Not a particularly high price stock. I'm not even sure what they do. Provisional, maritime transportation, dry bulk carriers and tankers. Okay, so it's not like truck shipping, it's ocean shipping. They had a they had a pretty good run up when you look at it since there's the COVID pullback from last year. They got down just about $2 a share, ran up to 20. That's a nice little, that's a pretty decent 10x right there. I know a lot of people don't like shipping companies because they can be like freighters and stuff because they can be hit or miss, especially with depending upon what part of the world they do shipping in. Of course, the Captain Phillips movie. They're pirates out there who take over tankers and stuff. Then a lot of people like to avoid shipping companies, but apparently this one's doing really good, and it's still on an upward movement. It's fixing to hit 8% here. How's their... And they're still under 220,000 traded on the day. Kind of interesting stock to have a look at. Industrial energy company out of Singapore for transportation. That's interesting. AMC continuing a slow Eeyore type pullback. Oh, and Wrestler just noticed Danelle's in the chat. So anyone have any non-AMC stuff to... Oh, wait. Hot pants. Are those like tight yoga? Oh, diamond pants. Yeah, and the big excitement, the channel has hit 57 subscribers, so we only need 943 more to hit that 1,000 mark. So we're almost there. That's like right around the corner. And AMC's back red. Oh, AMC's back green. Is it green or is it red? No, where did it open at? Looking. Oh, okay. They're saying 28.19 was the open on the day. Okay, the red and green's just what the last candle was. I don't play on here that much. More so since I got the channel. Ever since getting the channel, I tend to pay more attention to charting rather than just looking at the numbers and calculating on my own. It certainly makes it a lot easier. I wonder. Oh, let's see. I want to get in here and. Hey, Frodo, welcome to the chat, man. I am. Trying to find something here. Oh, there we go. Well, we're glad to have you here, Frodo. This is like the place to be in between Claybro's live streams. It's the hangout zone. Damn, she broed me crosses another name off the denial. Yeah, I'm just, I'm looking forward to, I think in January the market's going to pick back up, and that's what I'm really looking forward to. The end of this year, just, I'm assuming this is what the market's like every year, just getting into the low volume zone. I mean, you can look at all the stocks that are pulling back, and you just see that, there's not a lot of excitement, not a lot of volume. Most people would be investing just are either on vacation or just don't have end of year money. I'm thinking tax season we might see buyers step back in and see some of these prices doing a lot better. Let's see. So when do y'all think Shib's gonna hit a penny? Y'all think it'll hit a penny before the end of the year? God, that's just not a friendly pullback there that we're seeing. Never, wrestler says never. Never this year, or you don't think it's ever going to get up to a penny, forever, ever? Yeah, a lot of burning away from a penny. Okay, never by far. Yeah, it's going to take time. I think Shib eventually will hit a penny, but we're talking. I don't even think it. I don't think it'll hit a penny next year. I definitely think by the end of a year from now, it should have a zero burned. And it's just one of those waiting game ones. While it's low, buy as much as you see fit, and sit back and wait and see if it makes that run up. Yeah, Frodo, I think January will be exciting for AMC and GameStop as well. The trouble is, looking at GameStop, a lot of it is just I don't know historically, what their volume looks like. Well, let me go down to got a specific list down here for it. Average volume on GameStop is 3 million, and we're at 982 right now for the day. Shiba's destination is the trash can. Well, the Shib that I got in on, I got in when it was super low, and it didn't take much for me to get my position where it's at right now. I bought back in when it started to run up a bit, so I'm not too happy with that. I wish I would have got more when it was super super cheap, because at one point I was like ridiculously up on Shib. And then when it ran up to 8,800, that would have been, you never know how far it's going to go, but that would have definitely been, even on the pullback to 85, would have been nice to hop out of and, sit back and wait for the price to come back down. It's on PROG. Hey, Freddie. Oh, I didn't even see Freddie pop in the chat. Where did, Freddie... December 22nd, depending on the burn. Oh, December 22nd of next year? Average on Shib under 3,000. That's nice. That's definitely a good place to be right now. Oh, not much. We're just kind of hanging out here, and it's not a real exciting day in the market. So I even jumped on the biggest movers page and just picked a random stock to look at. It was it's just not that exciting of a day in the market. It's and that's the trend we've been seeing since Thanksgiving. We'll bank on AMC and GME, and Shib will be the future savings account. Antis Inu launches tonight on Pancake. It's a crap coin Ponzi. And a run up a little and jump if you want to. Oh, you're talking. It looks like a pump and dump. Yeah, there are so many coins out there that look specifically like that. They're just a junk coin, and they're trying to hype it as much as they can just to make a little bit of money and get out of it. Always exciting when you buy. Yeah, that's one way to look at it, Freddie. I think the markets will be slow all week. May see some movement towards the end of the week. Might be some movement at the end of the week, Frodo. But I wouldn't bet any options on it personally. Most positions I went options off when we had that 3 week, that steady push down over 3 weeks. A lot of positions I went options off. I've got very few select bull puts on different stocks that aren't affected by what's going on in the market. Stocks that have just been trending sideways forever. So I took a nice position you know, a couple strikes away from where it's been at, and they've traded sideways. So I've got a little bit of revenue coming in on options, but nowhere near what I usually have when I'm playing, both sides of AMC. Hey, you got in Toad. Welcome to the chat, man. Everyone's starting to pop in now. That's awesome. That's what I like to see. I like to see the fam pop in here and just hang out and burn away a little bit of the day. It's just an overall blah day. Yeah, it really is a blah day. There's just I was looking at AMC, looking at some bull puts for the 10-day out options. The ones ending next week, which would be great. Get those, and then the start of the new year, AMC starts its run up back to 40. Oh, who ordered that red candle? Need to get that out of here. We don't serve their kind here. Although I did buy Volt Inu at Jump and it went down. Oh. Yeah, I try to avoid a lot of those just because if it's rocketing, that's not a place you want to be. You don't want to try and catch a rocket when it's taking off. You're just not a good place to be. Oh, sorry, I was going to jump in. And yeah, just not 24, 25 still looking nice. That's almost for a quarter up, and it's still in a pretty safe zone. Looking at that 26 line of support holding, and of course with AMC share price dropping down, these just picked up another $2 in value. Not sure how safe they would be. Oh, I'm still on GameStop there. I wonder on. I'm just one of those people who always wants to be doing something in the market. I don't like just sitting back and waiting. Oh. Frank, yesterday you said AMC MOS may start in the 90s. It's going to take around 10 years to get to the 90s at this rate. No, I definitely disagree with that. If you were looking at the volume and the direction the stock's going, well, yeah, it'll take forever. But, we've seen huge run-ups out of nowhere. I definitely don't think it'll happen this year. There was always a possibility, that some of the hedge funds would try to close out their positions for the tax write-off at the end of the year. But it's looking like we're getting into a place where, they may surprise us. They may come out and, Friday's the last day of the trading year. Let's go ahead and lock in our losses there. But I think that because of T2 settlement, it would actually count for a loss for next year. So if they were looking to exit their short positions and claim it for this year, they would have to do it before close of market tomorrow. For the T2 settlement on stocks, if they're shorting through stocks, they would have to close it out tomorrow by the close of the market in order to lock in those losses for this year. So if the MOAS doesn't kick off on Wednesday, I wouldn't particularly be looking for it to start to start Thursday or Friday either. And that's just going off how the market plumbing works. And yeah, I'm looking at prog calls here just for the fun of it. Let's look at January monthlies. Only $30. They lose half a dollar a day to theta. Middle's 32 right now. If you can get it, if your broker lets you get it at 32. But yeah, let's. I'm just looking for board plays right now. So when did we see a decent run up? Because like how long ago? Back in November we almost hit $46 a share. Well, that's the halfway point to 90 right there. All it takes is one of these, a good run up to happen at just the right moment to where people are sitting on a whole bunch of cash, or a whole bunch of buying power, I should say. Like a military payday, that'd be like the perfect time. Either the 1st or the 15th when the military gets paid and like all the military coordinates and just all buys at once. That'd be kind of cool. Whole bunch of happy soldiers if they all became millionaires overnight. I'm not saying that should happen because, for me to say that should happen, it'd be market manipulation. That's something we're trying to fight. We don't like that. We don't like market manipulation. Then we wouldn't have a million. Yeah. Well, yeah, you kind of got me there. Monthly options expiration date January. AMC looks spicy. We could potentially see some gamma. No. She does a little bit of crypto, but no stocks, no options. Oh, that's you were talking about the monthlies on AMC, option single. Monthly options expiration date. Well, I mean, there are a ton here in at the $40 range. Now, unfortunately, you can't actually look to see when these contracts were entered, but a lot of the ones we're seeing right here, these were decently priced before. A lot of these were probably bought pretty far out because if you look at the way the options chain is done up, you get so far out, and so you've got your January monthlies, you have your weekly, January, February, and then after that, all you're getting are the monthlies. And February, March. Well, there's no April, no May. It skips to June, hits July, then January. So if you look at it, a lot of those monthlies in January, those might have been bought a lot further out. People just saying, okay, it's gonna, we're gonna rip to the moon. MOAS is gonna happen this year, so I'm gonna grab options out as far as I can get. I'm gonna grab the first options next year. Well, those would be the January monthlies. So a lot of the ones you're seeing, especially the ones up at the 40, because really with how the share prices have been pushed down the past month and a half. And this would have actually been, the contracts would have been worth more before, but there's no way, people see it getting pushed down and down and down and say, oh, let me go out and buy a ton of options at the $40 strike price, just because of the value they would be losing just through price movement. And, looking at the theta on these 40s, you're still losing $6 a day in value. Now, granted, theta, as you get closer to expiration, ramps up. It increases. But a lot of these January monthlies you're seeing are just ones that people bought earlier in the year. They might have even been bought in the middle of the year. And that's just because that was, the first date they could get in the new year coming up. So yeah, you will see, you'll see that on. You'll see that on a lot of stocks, to where you'll jump in, look at the monthly options for the first of the year, and those are just people who are looking at super long positions. In fact, let's get back over. Let's look at one of our other favorite meme stocks. We'll jump over to the options and January monthlies. Oh, I might have to add more. Let's just add them all. Oh, wow. GameStop has the options built out to almost $1,000 a share. Did we? I see the spinning wheel of death. Did we lose connection? So yeah, you look, and a whole bunch of people, January monthlies, they bought the 950. So let's scroll down, see if we've got any other. There are the 500s. Yeah, of course they could definitely run in January. I just had a nice salad with extra cookies on the side. Feeling pretty level right now. Well, that's good. I know for breakfast this morning, I took some Christmas ham, diced it up in some eggs, threw some Monterey Jack. Scrambled the eggs up and just, threw it on the stove and did it up as sandwiches. All right, let's wait for it to load in. I'm asking a lot of Weeble right now. It's like, hey, give me every option strike price. Solid healthy against the cookies. Well, cookies don't necessarily have to be unhealthy. Yeah, it looks like really for GameStop. Yeah, and of course GameStop is lower volume. But yeah, you see a spike at 600, spike at 700, spike at 500, spike at 400. 350, 300, 250, and then you get in here, and that things get interesting from 220 to 250. Yeah, Christmas ones sure are. Yeah. Where? Okay, we don't want all anymore. There we go. Mm. Tell you, one of my favorite cookies are the uh, well, of course, Thin Mints are like the greatest cookies on earth, but I like the white chocolate macadamia nut cookies. Oh, those are so good. But yeah, as I was going to bring up the macadamias, I was like, well, wait a minute, no, Thin Mints will always those will always be the number one cookie. Yeah, it's like every time. Hey, we've got a bot in chat. I repeat, we have a bot in chat. Vor.red from Russia. Wrestler. Wrestler. There we go. Good job, wrestler. I just can't believe I'm unworthy of an official chat today, because one thing has to happen before the chat is official. Yeah, yeah, you got him, wrestler. Weeble. Believe GameStop, even with the little push down, they are making a little bit of a recovery. Because if you zoom out a bit, they did have that yeah, pushed below 130. I don't really keep an eye on them, but I remember they were running in the 180 200 range, and they broke 200. And yeah, I remember hearing about them all through this run up here. Tons and tons of excitement, and they got caught up in the push down as well. Oh, I just thought of something. Let me get it set up. Let me. How many people we got in here anyway? Oh wow, looks like we're up to eight people earlier. We're at 6 right now. Let me go ahead and create a poll. Haha. Yay, we got a poll now. Just because I was bored and wanted to have a poll. Just kind of to get everyone's opinion on what they think. Ooh, up to 67% no right now. So y'all think through January we're gonna break down through 26 again? I think we're just in the end of year slump, and I'm looking January for it to start running back up again. I am looking for $28 on AMC. I want us to be able to go. Whoa, where'd it go? Way down there. Where are we at? I want, going into January, I want the $28 to be this line right here. Oh no, I want $28 to be this line right here in January. So yeah, we'll start January, start running, and end of January, or middle of January, first week in January. Start to see it blow right through that, and this time the buy button will not be taken away. If the buy button is taken away this time, bad things are going to be happening. So it's weird, I can't actually see. Nice one, Wrestler. There have been huge increases in AMC volume just before the. Yeah, I think there will be a spike in volume, and that's just as a result. Because in order for them to close their position, how many shares they're short, they have to buy those. They have to buy those shares in order to close their positions. If you're shorting a position, you're creating a sell position. Well, in order to close a sell, you have to open. You have to buy to exit that short position. Now the question is, I don't think they're going to buy on the open market. I think that they will end up. I think they'll end up closing a majority of positions out on dark pools. Out on the dark market, and that's just because if they have to cover let's take hedge fund A and say they have a 25 million share position they have to cover. Well, if they go out in the open market and start saying, hey, we need to buy 25 million shares, well, everybody's going to know, hey, they're looking to buy a bunch of shares up, so let's buy before they get a chance to. So I do think that that they may end up using dark pools in order to close those positions, just because they can acquire large amounts of shares without tipping their hand that they're doing it. And that way, when the 25 million order comes through, it'll come through in one shot. And as soon as people see that spike, see that, if they close it on dark pool, because a lot of people, there are people who think that if you're buying and selling on the dark pool, it's never reported. No, it is reported as soon as the trade goes through. Now, as they're acquiring all the shares for that order, there's no tip off to it. There's no they don't see the shares being gathered up. They don't see all of it coming together to complete the order. But as soon as they close their position, that order immediately is reflected as volume on the open market. That's just how the plumbing of the market works. So when the MOAS kicks off and when they start covering their positions, as soon as the first one covers, and you could expect to see, if they may go out and say, okay, we've got to cover 25 million shares, but should we try and break this up into 5 orders of 5 million? So you may see, a $5 million or 5 million share candle, and 12 minutes later see another $5 million or 5 million share candle, and 4 minutes later another 5 million. So you would see these huge candles out of characteristic with the normal trading pattern, and that would be a sign that that when you see when you see a single 1 minute candle with that kind of volume, that could be the mark of a hedge fund closing their position. So yeah, you will see you'll see an increase in volume as of when that first position is closed, and that's if they do it on dark pool. If they're, I don't want to use the word dumb, but if they aren't doing it the smartest way and they try to close it on the open market, you'll see the parabolic arc. You'll see it start to ramp up as the positions are closing. That's why I think they might end up doing it on dark pools, just so they can get a single shot in, rather than start covering low and the MOAS kicks in and the price starts running up, and all of a sudden they're trying to close out they're trying to close out as it's running up. So I don't see that happening, but there definitely will be an increased volume in the MOAS. Why is AMC so hype out there compared to many others? I think a lot of the hype is just from all the good things that have been going on with AMC. You look at what Adam Aron's doing as CEO, and he's creating excitement for the company. He's a company that was on the verge of bankruptcy, and he's revitalized the company, and a lot of it is due to Ape Nation, that the movement started to support the stock, and he, of course, he jumped right on board with that as soon as he saw that that there was support outside of the company that wanted to own a piece of it. Yeah, he grabbed the reins, and we've just been running with it. So yeah, that's where a lot of the hype is. The hype is just all the great things that he's been doing, and the social media aspect of it. When are the next quarterly results out? You're talking are you talking next quarter's earnings report for AMC? Let me see if I've got a... let me go back on the day. Earnings. So earnings were on the 11th of November, so December. I would say early February. I mean, we can even go back and look and see May. Oh, early March. Is it? Would it be early? Yeah, because the first quarter or for this earnings report from last year or from this year was on March 10th, so I'd expect to see about the same time period going into next year. I think in January we'll see some positive price movement with potential gamma squeeze, FOMO, maybe lead. Yeah, Frodo, that goes in. That definitely is a strong possibility, and that's part of what I was talking. That also another catalyst for January MOAS could be the hedge funds looking to close out their position early in the year to know how far behind they are. Just if they know how far behind they are, they know what steps they have to take throughout the year to try and recoup those losses. Ready to slap some hedgy cheeks. Just a thought, for example, there are 50 different hedge funds. They won't be closing their shares at the same time. Therefore, MOAS won't occur. No, so what could happen? Yeah, there are multiple hedge funds out there. It's not one hedge fund that's shorting the company, shorting AMC and GME. But it is possible that what you could see is a domino effect. Because the higher the price gets, and the greater volatility, the hedge funds, they still have to answer financially for the short positions they've taken. Now, if as a result of one or two smaller hedge funds covering, and all of a sudden FOMO kicks in and the price starts ramping up, it could end up falling like a house of cards, or falling like dominoes, because they'll realize, somebody may realize, hey, now definitely looks like the time for us to get out. It's too dangerous, or they get margin called and they have to exit their positions. If the people, if the financiers look at it and say, hey, no, you've got to close this, the risk is way too high. And a lot of that could happen through utilization, could happen through cost to borrow, but all that, when the MOAS, when it starts to rip, and we start to see that price action, the running of the price becomes its own living entity. And if they try to hold through it, they're going to find themselves right at the same spot. The only problem is if they hold through it and they don't exit their position, and the price runs up, and a whole bunch of people, look at it like, oh, this is the MOAS, and they go ahead and close their positions out, and they're still short. They still have that short position on the stock, and the stock price comes back down. Then, as soon as the Ortex numbers come out, as soon as people look at the short interest and like, oh man, there's still a 15% short interest out there. And then you get all these apes who have all this extra money, and they're like, yeah, let's go for round two. And they enter right back in. They wait for the price to come back down, enter right back in, possibly at the same price average, but now instead of, say you invested $10,000 in AMC, and you just sold your position for $150,000. So just using round numbers, and it comes back in. And now you can enter at the same point where you entered for 10,000, but you've got 15 times more money. That means you get 15 times more shares. I mean, so yeah, it's just, they can hold through it coming back down if they don't get margin called, but they're just going to be in a worse position, because there are apes that'll look at it, after they've closed out, thought it was over, and then they look and say, hey, it's not over yet. That they only covered 10% of what was short. We're still we're still in the control seat right now. We're still controlling this. And at that point, it comes down to okay, how many times are the hedge funds gonna not really fall for this, but how many times are they going to put themselves in the position of losing? And every time they do it, they're going to lose worse. So yeah, there may be 50 hedge funds, but I've been saying for a long time, that the hedge fund who covers first stands a chance of coming out of it better than the rest of them. Whoever blinks first, they may be avoiding it because they don't want to take the loss. But when one of them finally says, "No, the risk is too high, I'm getting out of it," if they trigger it, they could end up taking out a whole bunch of their competitors, or a whole bunch of their competitors could end up in horrible positions just because they tried to stick it out. Yeah, so the quarterly financials, going off, looking at just on when it was last year, it looks like the next one should be in early March. Perhaps overcomplicating things. Toad, what are you asking by, or mean by perhaps overcomplicating? I'm going to go on to the next one, but I'll be watching for it further down. Fine, I'll be the one with the cojones to say that. When moon. When moon is when they cover and the FOMO kicks in. That is when moon. When Lambo, depending upon how your finances are right now, you could potentially go get a Lambo today. It just, depends on how much money you have and how the waiting list looks. And since Wrestler dropped the ball, it looks like Toad had to put the eggplant in the chat. So we are an official chat now. We have our eggplant seal of approval. Was thinking Wrestler was going to throw that out there, but never saw him throw the eggplant out. Do I think the MOAS will happen in 2022? Yeah, I was actually, Toad, I was kicking around the possibility that the MOAS could have kicked off this week, but like I said, we have to look and see. We still have to look and see what happens on Wednesday as far as the closing for capital gains. That would be the only thing that would make it close this year. But yeah, I definitely think we could be the MOAS could be next year. The MOAS could be 2022. Not gonna say next year, because then I sound like the other YouTubers. Oh yeah, the MOAS is tomorrow. It's all happening tomorrow. It's all happening next year. No, I think 2022 we got a high chance. High chance just because we're gonna have. We've always got more money stepping into it, and the apes that are holding strong, they just keep. If you keep adding to your position, yeah, paper hands could sell, but the paper hands, there's a 50% chance they're selling it to hedge funds, and there's a 50% chance they're selling it to a real ape. So let the paper hands sell, because if they're selling it to someone who's just going to buy and hold, then the more shares we get for people who buy and hold, then the less it's available to borrow. All right, Danelle, Toad. It has to. I'm not getting. Well, yeah, none of us are getting any younger. I'm still working on a time machine myself, though. Hope you're right. My question is about the multiple hedge funds. It's okay. You answered the question. Okay, yeah. The multiple. Yeah, there are multiple hedge funds that are doing. It's not one. It's not one big bad company. As much as everyone likes to blame specific people for it. No, there are a lot of hedge funds. There are hedge funds that have shorted it, and there are hedge funds that are actually long on AMC. Not every hedge fund is out there shorting AMC. Some of them have long positions because they might have had the spare capital to set aside, buy those shares, and they're sitting waiting for the MOAS just like all of us. Frodo, I think the odds are in our favor that the MOAS will happen in 2022. But if not, all apes will be holding long-term capital gains, which means more attendees. Yeah, that's the thing. The longer they make us hold, the safer we are, as far as where capital gains turns in from short-term into long-term. Yeah, they're just shooting themselves in the foot right there. And you almost would think that the government would step in and force them to cover to keep all those gains as short-term. if the government was truly, playing in support of making as much money as possible, you think they would force the MOAS. Because, with every person that kicks over into long term, from short term capital gains into long term, they're just losing more money. Toad, can we have a guess for the MOAS and you write it down in your notebook? Oh, people are looking for MOAS dates now? Wow. Yeah, where did I put... Oh, there's my notebook. Oh, yeah, I had my notebook right under my copy of F1 2021 for PS4. I've been living my dreams of being a race car driver. Oh, let's go and end the poll. I never a poll's been sitting up there the whole time. So 60%. Okay, 5 votes. 60% of you say it's not gonna hold the upper channel. Y'all think it's gonna break below 26? Three of the 5 people say it's gonna drop back below. I think this 26 channel will hold up. This upper channel, I think it's gonna hold. And in January, I'm even willing to risk options on it. So what do we got? We got Outdoor Smile. Oh, Outdoor. We also we need your price prediction for the MOAS, not just your date. And you're saying September 2nd. Hang on, I want to check something real quick on... Toad says December 31st. Wait a minute, let me check something real quick. Hey, Toad, you can't have it on December 31st because that's a Saturday. Do you want to back it up to December 30th? Outdoor Smile says September 2nd. September 2nd is a Friday. I think we'll see a run-up AMC GME in late January, early February. May or may not trigger MOAS. Yeah, Frodo, one of the things I was looking at is when people start getting their tax returns back, which, usually you can, I get my paperwork back early in January, like the first week of January. So, I haven't, this is the first year as far as the 10, okay, Toad's taken the 30th. But yeah, usually early mid-February is when people start getting their returns back from the IRS, and the people that take their tax return and throw it right back into investing, that could definitely early February could definitely help trigger the MOAS. We'll definitely see increased buying pressure when people start getting their returns back. People say that about the government, Frank. How should they trigger the MOAS for more taxes? I think the government isn't cohesive enough to coordinate that. Well, no, Frodo, it comes down to something as simple as the FCC or the SEC coming out and stating that all short position, you can only have an open short position for 30 days. or a short position cannot be carried beyond the fiscal quarter. There are things that they could do in order to force the hedge funds to close. It's just everyone's got their hand in the cookie jar, so no one's going to go tell mom about it. For lack of better terms, that's as simple as it is. Everyone's looking to make money off this one way or the other. Donnell says January 14th. Let me... Okay, so Donnell's going on a Friday also. I am actually going to take... Ooh. Trying to figure out my date. Yeah, but a lot of the government isn't cohesive enough to coordinate that. But it doesn't take the full government. It just takes, a couple people in key positions to realize the potential of it. So Outdoor Smile and Donnell still looking for price targets for the MOAS from y'all. Toad is the first one to have full information in. He's saying the MOAS will run up to exactly $5 and it'll be on December 30th. Yes, they could do that, but they're not financially or politically motivated to trigger it. Yeah, they're not. That's, if they cared about, making the most revenue as far as tax money, they would do it. But yeah, they have no reason to do it. And that's why, public pressure, flying a plane that said, Ken Griffin lied, or all the different banners, all the hashtags, social media, getting out there and putting pressure on them, and not just putting pressure on social media, but write letters to senators, congressmen, your representatives, and just be like, and not just we want y'all to stop corruption in the marketplace. Give them an actual reason. Give them things to look at. Like, I'm sorry, but I don't have to worry about it. But there are people out there who have to worry about pattern day trading. Why is someone who only has $15,000 in their brokerage? Why is their money not treated with the same respect as someone who has $1 million? Pattern day trading should not be a thing. That's one thing in the market I think needs to go away. Just because every trader should be treated the same. So why are people just starting out? Why is their money not respected? And that's the key thing in any kind of financial setting. You got to respect all money, not just big money. A lot of government officials benefit from MOAS not happening. Yeah, unfortunately, there's nothing they can do to actually prevent the MOAS from happening. That's, the positions have to be closed. No, I don't think the starting price. I don't think the starting price of the MOAS really will, change the upside potential on it. Now, granted, there are a lot of paper hands that will be looking to, if they see their money 2x or 5x, something like that. A lot of people could step out at that point. Oh, Toad's saying that Donnell's January 14th sounds good. Oh, sorry, I was looking at the calendar. I was trying to figure out. Now, when we're talking about date of MOAS, pretty much I think we'll just cover the week, because the MOAS is not going to be a single day event. I'm anticipating probably about a 3 maybe 4 day event. But I will go ahead and I still think April 1st? Moas on April Fools? No, I'm not going with that. Since I believe that the Moas is going to be a multi-day event, I will take February 9th. Oh my god, we just did that thing where like an hour flew by. Like in the blink of an eye, an hour just went by. So Danelle and Outdoor Smile, do y'all have price predictions for the Moas? Because right now I've got $1,748.81 happening on February 9th. Ugandan Toad has a $500 Moas happening on December 30th. Which I just want to put a little frowny face next to that one. Yeah, I think with all the circuit breaker halts that are going to be kicking in, the stock's going to be halted multiple times a day. So I think that we're potentially looking at the Moas. When it starts the run up, it will probably carry through. From the initial run up on the first day, it could easily run into the third day, and that's just that's if the buy button is kept in place, and if the buy button's kept in place, and depending upon the volume of paper handlers that we'll see, because paper handlers will step out and they'll see those halts and they're like, okay, I'm gonna. This looks like a good level, so I'm gonna go ahead and take my profits here. Paper hands are gonna step out on the way up, but with all the halts we'll be seeing, it's. I do not see it being over in one day, not by a long shot. Frodo, I think Moas starting at 30 or 90 won't make that much a difference if we're talking about price run up over 1,000. Yeah, Frodo, that's once it starts running, the potential always comes down to where everyone's looking to take their profits at, and that's if nobody was telling the truth and everyone says I'm getting out at 200, and everyone gets out at 200, and well, that's that could halt the Moas right there. But there are enough people who say, I've got my price. I'm looking for over $1,000 a share. At $500 a share, I'm already at life-changing money. But I'm looking, I think a good range, and where I'm going to look towards beginning a staircase step out. I'm looking to start a step out around 1250, and I'm looking for the actual Moas to run up close to 1750. That's just those are the ranges that I personally think it's going to run up to. Will a weekend affect the Moas if it begins on Friday? Well, aftermarket trading, you really don't. In the aftermarket hours, there's not a whole lot of volume available. As long as there's a buyer and seller, they'll still be trading, but it'll carry on. If it starts on a Friday, it'll carry on into the next week. Danelle holding for 5,000 a share. Yeah, I certainly hope. If you've got if each individual person has to think of where they want to get out. What's their life-changing money? What is their end game? And I hope that each and every person who has a price target, I hope they hit it. And I hope they hit it fast, because I would certainly love to join them on the ride, because I know where I want to step out at. But if it blows right through the prices that I'm looking to step out at, and it keeps running past those, well, yeah, of course. Of course I'm going to want to take more money out of it. Yeah, I think this could easily get to 1,000, but will take Apes Holding to get it into 5 digits or more. Well, yeah, definitely. I would I would not be opposed to some of those other YouTubers being right and AMC hits $100,000 a share. I personally will not have a problem with that. And like I said, I hope if it runs up to that price, it does it very, very quickly before I have time to get out at the levels that I'm looking for. Uganda Toad needs 1165, 34. Okay, 1,165 pounds and 34 pence per share to pay off mortgage. Oh, okay. Yeah, if that's the case, you're $500 a share. I don't know what the current exchange rate is. Don't know what the current exchange rate is for pounds to pounds and dollars. Well, let's jump over on the 1 minute, see what's going on with AMC. So bounced before it hit 2750, ran back up, had a little bit of a pullback. We got 4 minutes till power hour kicks in. But yeah, Toad, if you are right and we get that, I don't agree with your date. I don't want to be doing this till January. Granted, or till till December 30th. Granted, if we do it till December 30th, I'm gonna have so many, I'm gonna have so many stupid amount of shares. I don't think it'll surpass 1,000 pounds though. Yeah, but if it lasts until December, I'm gonna just have a stupid high amount of shares by that point. Also depends on how many synthetic shares there are out there. The more times the float there are, that could run it much higher. Yeah, the possibility of naked shorting and synthetic shares. The possibility is definitely out there. Just the people who are talking that there are 3 billion synthetic shares that have to be covered. I If there were 3 billion synthetic shares out there, the cost to borrow would be so ridiculous that there's no way it wouldn't have moashed already. Now, if through some mechanism there, a couple million, and by a couple million I'm talking like 10, 20 million synthetic shares out there. But the people who are talking, there are billions of synthetic shares. The risk and the cost to borrow, and the fact that all that money would have had to have gone somewhere. I don't think the billion, the people who talk in those numbers, I don't think they really understand how it works. But yeah, I think there are synthetic shares out there, and I don't think it's a ridiculous number, but at some point, they would have to be covered. If naked shares technically don't exist, do they have to be covered? Um, if a position is nakedly shorted, synthetically shorted, and uh, they still, those shares are still owed out there. So even though they don't exist, there's a digital trail, and that digital trail still has to be covered. Just like going out and borrowing. Now you cannot buy and sell to the ether. You can't buy or sell shares out of nowhere. They have to come from somewhere. And it's possible that the lending and relending of shares has created some of these synthetic positions. So in essence, it could be that the same share has to be covered twice. And that could be where a lot of it comes from, just from them bouncing the shares back and forth through lending. Oh, Danelle, everyone have a great afternoon. See you later. Thank you for including me. Oh, not a problem. Everyone is always welcome in here. Welcome to, if people just want to hang out and listen and, just soak up some info or burn the day and not participate, that's cool. Anyone who wants to jump in and add to the conversation can certainly join in. So, yeah, of course, we enjoy having everyone in here and hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Frodo, I think there could easily be 500 million synthetic shares out there. Yeah. There could be, but again, Frodo, I think it would come down to looking at the cost to borrow, because the shares have to be accounted, even if the shares are being counted twice. If you look at it, I think the last numbers I saw, short interest of the free float was something. It was like 107 million shares. The last time I saw reliable numbers, and I haven't looked in a while. But in order for there to, looking at the whole double counting, looking at the fact that the short interest is, we'll use easy numbers. The short interest is 100 million shares. Well, if you look at that, if they're synthetic through the process of borrowing on a borrow, then that means that each short share has been borrowed 5 times but never closed out. And at that point, so at that point, each short share would have to be covered 5 different times. And, we know the hedge funds are corrupt. We know they're dirty, they're vile, they're evil. But if you're a member of one hedge fund and you've got another hedge fund shorting you or lending you shares that they've shorted and haven't paid back, that they still technically have on their books, you're basically taking their loss and you're making yourself responsible for it. Because in the long run, whoever holds those shorts, if somebody covered but didn't, I don't want to say covered but didn't return, but if someone had borrowed shares, shorted, and pushed those shares onto someone else, then the hedge fund number 2 just became responsible for double their own short position. Just from being loaned out to share multiple times, there could be two times. Yeah, but yes, there could be, and that's where the synthetics would come from. But to say that one hedge fund allowed another hedge fund, because essentially that's what's coming down to, is the hedge funds shorting each other. If they're loaning these out, if they're loaning out these shares, one person borrows, and they now have the share, and the shares that they borrow, they lend them to someone else, and they continue to do that. That would be the entire short interest of free float would be shorted 5 times out. The complete short position lent it out 5 times. And I just don't, as corrupt and power and money hungry as they are, I don't see them shorting them out that many times, or lending them out that many times. If just one investor refuses to sell during the MOAS, could the price go up to $1 million, or it would depend on? On the principle of it, I would say no, because even if one person holds a million shares and says, no, no, I'm not selling, I'm going to hold my million shares, you still have to look if if they cover all their positions. If all the shorts are covered and it ran up, say all of them covered, and the price ran up to 10,000, and there was one person sitting on a million shares that says, no, I'm not going to sell until it reaches, until it reaches $1 million. Well, the share price, since all the shorts have covered, the share price will revert down. The share price would start to come down, and they would be sitting on, they'd be sitting on however many shares they had, and as the price dropped, if the shorts have covered, the price isn't coming back up. So once they're all covered, and once everyone's done buying, and all the FOMO's done, and all the paper hands have broken, and all the diamond-handed apes, except for that one guy, have went ahead and closed their positions, and it comes back down. Well, that guy, depending upon where he got in, he could potentially be holding the bag on however many shares he had. If he's waiting on a million and everyone else is already out, well, last person out, turn the lights out, because he's not gonna get his million at that point. Yeah, that's the whole many apes together strong. If it's just the one guy, that's why everybody with the MOAS has to know where they plan to get out, have to know what their exit is. And all people say, I'm going to diamond hand forever. Well, if you diamond hand forever, it's going to run up, tag its top, and it's going to come back down. Everyone has to have a price to get out at. And whether it's 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, 100,000, or that person holding to a million, I feel sorry for him holding to a million, because I don't think it's people have done the math to show that it could hit 100 or 500,000, but I don't think those are realistic numbers. I think we'd be hard pressed. I think 5 digits are possible. I think we could hit 10,000, but so many things would have to happen, and so many people would have to hold, and the larger hedge funds would have to hold well past beyond what the normal hedge funds will get out at. Wow, the last hour or so we covered a bunch in here. Had a good old time. So it is after 2 o'clock. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. I'm gonna go grab me a bite to eat before Claybro stream starts. But I want to thank everyone who came by. Certainly Toad, Danelle, and Frodo. This whole long part here at the end was just absolutely a blast to go over everything with. Scrolling back up, Outdoor Smile was in here, Wrestler. 1111 Mr. Simon was in chat for a while. Freddie popped in. I'm not sure. I think it's the first time I've seen Freddie in chat, and that it's always cool. He may have been in here before, maybe a first time visitor, but it's always great having new people, having returning people, having everyone in chat. Yeah, no problem, Frodo. I appreciate I appreciate everyone who comes in here and hangs out, and like I said, you don't have to participate. Just hanging out and with the group is good. Hey, we got another bot. But yeah, it's great just coming in here, hanging out, answering questions, getting as much information out there as possible. And of course, some of it is my opinion. Some of it is based off DD, but a lot of it it's a general discussion. I'm not not sitting out here telling you the facts of no, this is exactly what's going to happen. This is how it's going to happen. No, it's just, we're having a very good dialogue, and yeah, Toad, I never have a problem with answering questions. So yeah, I will see everyone over in Claybro's stream, and we'll have a good old day over there. And hope everybody, hope the rest of your day goes good, and hopefully we see the market turn around and we all start making money, and we have a January MOAS. So I will see y'all later, and thank you again for stopping by.